Get strong.
Right, so it's recording now. So let me just share my screen. Right, you should be able to see it now. These are my bots, and as you can see, all green. But there's one I want to show you. This one, right? I woke up this morning, B&B, massive pump, and I saw this. It started to pump last night, and I set the bot going, just on a normal long 5x. So not majorly. And woke up this morning, plus $241. That's just normal, just with price increase from a $3,444 investment. But then I saw the grid profit. I was like, what the fuck? $3,276,308.70 profit. I was like, shit. Terminate the bot, just fucking pay everyone out now for fucking 1,000% each. Then I went into history and realised, wait a minute, why am I only getting $5 on each of these, but this one's giving me 3 million? Turns out that one, it basically showed me every single trade that was earned on everybody's trade at that point. So everyone that sold a portion of their bot, the grid at that time, there was 273 USDT per 1.2 basically. So instead of it being 0.03 USDT, which is the normal, as you can see from every single cell of 0.03, 260, 264 is normally the same amount. So it's around $5. But 3 million? And I was like, shit man, I've got $3 million in my account. I need to withdraw the fucker. How am I going to do that? I'm only allowed to withdraw like 1,000 to 10,000 a day. And so yeah, let me just go back now. So anyway, yeah, it's not actually 3 million. It's basically about $47 or something what we made profit there. But we made $241 days profit, $241 profit overnight. So I was pretty gutted that we never made that 3 million, but never mind. Yeah, so do I. I was going to message them, but I thought no, because if I start being cheeky, they might block my account, and I don't want to do that. So, right, let's go to Grizzly. As you can see, $280,893 there. We have just literally compounded just there. We are on 30,000 a month minimum. Yeah, 3 million would have been nice. Damn right it would have been. So yeah, we're doing really amazingly, and that's that for the updates there. Let me remember how I stop sharing screen. No. That's it. So, right. The next part of the update is, as you're all aware, we are aiming for 0% Ponzi's on everything. Now, we have Alka Fortune that is in the 0% Ponzi. This week, it may just climb out of a 0% Ponzi. We're not including the injection, what we did on Monday, as a count of an injection. That was just a bonus, as well as the cake bonus. Just to give you all that little bit of a boost back up to your normal percentage from day one. And if any new investors, they got that bit of boost extra than 3%. So we're not including that, but it may just drop us out slightly to about 99% reduced Ponzonomics. So it's not a major amount. Take about a week to get back into a 0%. Not huge. Not worried at all. But there is one other project that is 0%. The 0% is Zambacashflow's project, the USDT cash flow. So after speaking with the team and getting the majority votes, we as a whole team have decided, we from Fortune Hunters and the Farm of Fortune, because Zamba has his own pools, so he generates his own income into the miner. It was just basically brought into Fortune Hunters to build that extra community for him to get him off the ground, because he wanted to go his own way with the miners. So we brought it into Fortune Hunters, and that's why we included it in the Fortune Hunters, not as a Fortune Hunters, but as a project that we basically approve. So that is now 0% Ponzi. There's hardly anything going out each week, and just this week alone was $700 injected in from Farmer Fortune. So we've now decided that we are still going to inject into the contract, but it will, instead of it being 0.5%, we're going to be injecting 0.25%. The other 0.25% each and every single week will be going to a different charity. This week is going to Richie's Crypto Mischiefs charity. On Monday, the 0.25 will go to Richie. Every time he sends it to the charity, they will do us a video. We will post it in the chat so everyone can see where that money has actually gone to, as well as Richie's money as well. So it'll be basically counted as like one injection to that charity each and every week. But next week will be a different charity. What we are going to do is each of the team members is going to choose a charity each week after the injection's been given to Richie on Monday. So Monday night, the team will get together. We'll all choose one charity each, and the vote will go down to the community, where the community decides where the charity money should go. We will not tell you which team member has said which charity it's going to. So it's not going to be like, oh, wait a minute, but we're all following Craig. We think Craig's doing brilliant. We think what's doing this. I want to choose Craig's charity. We're not going to say who's chose that charity. That's down to you to basically decide which you think is going to be the best charity. And that's going to be for the whole duration of the contract of Farmer Fortune from now on. We are known for giving back to the community, but why should we stop at giving back to the community? We're going to give back to whether it's disabilities, children, people, old people that don't have enough money to pay for electric and gas, don't have enough money for food. It could be anything. It could be the local football team down the road that's not got kits like Richie's just done. So we believe in helping every single person, and we're doing it at the moment where we're helping yous get that extra income, ROI plus profits. And basically the minute you join, even if you're joining right now, you are in profit straight away. We can guarantee you profit straight away. Not the full 400% at this precise moment, but we can guarantee you profit. So you're guaranteed to go on with your ROI and a bit more. And there's not many projects that can guarantee you before you've even started in the project to do that. And Nelson I think he might be in the group, and I will let Nelson go over that in just a second. So the second part of the update, as many of you are already aware, we had an update on the UI. There is many more updates to come, but I have to do it gradually because I still have to keep doing the bots. As you've seen, they're all green. If I stop doing that, they may turn red. I don't want to get red ones. I like them green ones because it shows more in the Google Sheets when you do the updates, and it looks better for you and for new investors as well to see that it's all green that's coming in rather than red, constant red. So the update on the UI is now, it doesn't say claim anytime and then a date. It was very confusing to people. We agreed it was very confusing. I was just waiting for that little bit of free time I had to actually get onto the web host and update everything. So we've changed it now until claim is, and it gives you a time, or it'll say now. What we are doing also is going to have a time until cart full with amount of time, so you know exactly when your 7 days is up as well. So it's going to help you and benefit you as well that way. So that was one of the information that we did. The second part was what was confusing was the max active deposits. It is still max active deposits is 200 BNB. But because people still don't understand what it actually means, we've changed it and said, look, max active deposits is 50 BNB per plan. Even though there's only 3 plans, but there is some compounds that'll let you do up until a maximum of 200 BNB in one wallet. But rather than it confusing everyone, we've just changed it on the UI to say max active deposits of 50 BNB per plan. It stops all the backlash in the chat. We have gone all this time with nobody ever saying anything, and one person today, I was at work and they did get removed, and I totally agree with everything what was said, and we'll back the whole team everywhere because there wasn't doing any research, and it's not down to the team because, as I've already mentioned to everybody, and when people came over from the automated USDT, we don't want you to invest. We want you to listen and then to do your own research, because if you don't do your own research, you're showing us that you're not going to work with the team and work with the community. We are a fully community-driven project. If it wasn't for the community, we would not be here today. Farmer Fortune would not have managed to where it is now, because it's all right us saying we need to have that extra time, but it's the community that's decided within themselves to actually reinvest 50% of what they withdraw. We're not saying reinvest every single penny, but if you reinvest a little bit, it helps yourself getting your ROI. It also helps the project sustainable, while I fully get that 400% for every single investor, not just for one person, not for the whales, not for the small investors, for every single person. Now, many people are saying, well, what happens if the whales just take out every single day? Now, with the speed we're going and with how the bots are doing really well at the moment, remember there's only $7,000, well, there was $6,500 invested in the bots up to date. No, it wasn't 6,500. There's 6,000 invested into the bots, sorry, up to date. We're now at $7,800 in the bots. And that's basically only been going for just over a week. So we're well over 25% increase in a week just from the bots. But I will not increase the amount going into the bots. It's only the marketing funds going into the bots. The contract is still doing the same thing. We're in the pools, we're generating the income and doing passive compounds daily to increase and build that daily bag. We have got to a certain percentage above at the moment, and I will let Nelson get into that, but I will finish what I've got to say at the moment first. So like I say, another thing that was confusing, people asking, well, what's the point in plan 2 and plan 3? We have to give choices. People, they get in now and they say, well, it's not going to last the full 200 days. Well, then that's fine. Then they'll join the 90-day plan. Yes, they are going to be earning less, but it is their choice. You can't tell them, I can't tell them to join a certain plan. It's got to be your own choice. And that's what we are trying to get used to realize yourselves. DeFi is a very serious place, and it can be a very dangerous place as well. We're building something that still gives you choices, but it still makes you want to research yourself. Now, if you don't research, you're not going to know what's best for you. If they want to go into the 90-day plan because they haven't researched and they just want to get their 135%, that is entirely fine. It makes it better for us because we don't have to get the full 2%. We only have to get 1.5% for them people that are in the 90-day plan. So please don't pull anyone down if they say, well, I want to join the 90-day plan, or if someone else says, well, what's the point in plan 2 and plan 3? That is because we have to have choices. Everything in DeFi has to have choices within it. And then it's down to yourselves, because then that's basically me saying, as financial advice, which I'm not a financial advisor. All I do is I do the projects and I do the workings out. The whole team does the simulation and does the testing and everything else. Nelson is the magic behind the numbers. So is Z. Also, a new bit of news. We do have a new team member, if none of you have already been noticed. And I don't think it's been actually announced in the channel yet. Our new member is Z. Is the one that keeps doing the graphs for us. We was meant to be doing it a long time ago, but I've just been that busy with all these compounds and the bots and everything else. We just haven't got round to it. And I got reminded about it last night, and we said, yeah, bring him in, we should have done this a long time ago. So we brought Z in because he has done a hell of a lot for the team, and he did a lot for the team before we even launched, before we even brought out Fortune Hunters. He was one that was talking to us behind the scenes and everything. We were going through with Z, and we went to put him on the team from day one. And I just really haven't got time to it. So firstly, it's my apologies to Z. But secondly, congratulations and welcome to part of Fortune Hunters full ecosystem, and for building the future of DeFi to be a nicer, safer place to be. So I am going to pass it on to Nelson now while I just update the Google Sheets for everyone, and let Nelson go over the details of the updates with how much is in pools and how much percentage and everything else you get. Second bit of thank you as well is Dwayne for the June. So thanks for June for Fortune Hunters as well. As many people are aware, it says BUSD machine version 3, but it has added on for Fortune Hunters. Didn't have to, it was done out of goodness of heart, so thanks very much. And I'll leave that now to Nelson while I just update the Google Sheets.
Yeah, I don't know if Z wants to say anything, but welcome Z to the team finally, officially, not that you weren't before. So okay, everybody. So I pulled the data from the BSC scan up to about 1 hour and a half ago, and 757, almost 758 BNB have already been claimed from Farm of Fortune, which is amazing because the contract TVL was never at any point higher than 300 BNB. This goes to show that the reinvestment and leaving something behind for others is working, and by doing this, we don't need to inject anything from the pools, because if we are leaving something for the other one to come and claim, and that person is also leaving something for the next one to come and claim, the contract TVL is stable at 200 to 300 BNB for the past 3 weeks, which is amazing. It's 3 weeks we have of compounding in the pools where Craig does his magic, and nothing comes from the pools. The pools right now are at around 1,700 BNB. We have a total of around 1,944 BNB in funds, which is almost up to 2,000 BNB. It's 30% less than the total amount deposits. And this is with 42 days of project, which is amazing. And if we were to leave the contract without any further injections in it, and the contract were to be drained, we would have enough money to pay everyone. Still, with the amount of money that the BNB that was deposited in the last couple of days, which was huge, we still have enough to pay those people that just got in. It's an amazing. Last time we were at around 1.3 to 1.4 x on all the investments. With the new deposits coming in, we got a little lower than that because the pools haven't had time to follow up with the amount of BNB that was deposited over the last couple of days. So we got around 1.2 right now. We're a little bit lower than we were last time we talked about it. But that's because the pools haven't had the time enough to catch up to the new deposits that come in. So we're basically healthy as hell right now, and that's all thanks to the mentality that reinvesting a portion back in and leaving something for the other one is creating. And I just want to congratulate every one of you, because it's all thanks to every single one of you doing their part. I don't know if anyone wants to ask anything, if anyone has any questions, or anyone wants to comment anything.
Yeah, how did you get so good at maths?
Life is hard.
Amen. Now that's amazing. That's amazing. Just to see what we've achieved in, well, we haven't even hit 25% of the time, and we are doing so well. So it's a credit to both the team and the community that they're really getting. They're really getting it. They're really understanding the game theory of how to look after their own investment and treating it not just as a wham bam thank you ma'am, but as a longer term project, which is what we all want it to be. We all want it to last and last and last. And so it's like we're all responsible. So yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, just keep feeding the soil, like you always say. It's just a great idea. Keep feeding the soil, we all win.
For people, Nelson, just real quick, for people that haven't listened to that AMA, could you do your lovely metaphor about the two cars on the motorway? Because that was amazing. Just to explain how we're able to create this this output sustainably. I mean, would you be okay to do that, do you think? Or
Why don't you try? You listening to it?
It's my sister. So basically, from well, you can correct me if when I mess it up. So the idea of how we're able to do this is considering that Einstein said that compounding, the compound interest is the greatest power in the universe. And then what DeFi does is it gives regular people like me, like you, maybe, like puts into their hands the most powerful force in the universe. And it's like, I don't know if you got any Star Trek nerds, but there's, in some of the films they've got this red matter where it's like one droplet of it can actually destroy a planet. It's crazy. So what we're kind of doing by making the rewards payout every 5 days, what that's effectively doing is slowing the rate of and the ability for us to compound what we have. Now, we don't have to compound. We can just take it as, right, I put my 1 BNB in, I'm just going to ping my rewards every day and get my 4 BNB in 200 days. And that is fine. That is fine. But why wouldn't you want to make it a passive income, man? Like, just why would you not want to do that? So rather than us compound, into oblivion and create this beast where we can't afford the payouts, by slowing everything down once per 5 days for the payouts, what that does, that allows Craig in the pools to actually apply normal compound interest but he's doing it in healthy pools, in safe pools. So we've got the advantage of doing that and staying ahead of the curve. The analogy that Nelson gave in the AMA, if you didn't listen to it, please do listen to it. It's really good, was that if you've got two cars and one car is doing 8 miles an hour, and the car that's going 8 miles an hour, shoots off, and then the other car is like, maybe it waits a day. It waits a day, or it waits 12 hours before it starts. And then it starts, but it's doing 100 miles an hour or 200, 150 miles an hour. Okay, with an extended road, what that does, that allows the car that's traveling faster is always going to ultimately overtake the car that's doing 8 miles an hour, even if it had a head start. And so it's that kind of idea that by the provision of the plans that are either reinvestable after 5 days or claimable after 5 days and getting your ROI, and we're all about that. It meters. It's like when you see the lorries on the road that are like, this truck is limited to 60 miles an hour, or 70 kilometers an hour. If you know, like, let's face it, basically half the people here are bloody Portuguese, so you know, like, or European, let's say, which is amazing, which is really amazing. So you know, these trucks that have they've got a speed limiter on them. That's kind of what we're doing. I mean, we're still giving this incredible 2% a day. Holy cow, you know. But meanwhile, we've got the power of the bulk purchasing, all of the power of that B&B that is sitting together and therefore being compounded, you know, at you know, significantly a greater speed and with greater amounts, and that's how really effectively we're able to run the protocol the way we are. I don't know, how was that? Well, how was that, Nelson? Was that good enough, or was it a bit of waffle?
Yeah, you're doing great. It's hard to
Yeah,
explain the concept, but
yeah,
we need to go all ways around it to try to explain, because everyone has a different way to look at things and understand things in a different way. So it's always nice to have more people explaining the same thing in different ways, because it helps more people understand how things work. But yeah, basically no one can get more than 2% because you're not compounding. You're always getting 2%. Even if you reinvest, you still get 2% over the total amount you deposit. You don't grow without depositing in. Everyone is limited to 2% per day, while if you are compounding, you're actually, even if you're still getting 2%, but if you're compounding, your bag gets bigger. You're actually getting more than 2% per day because you didn't put anything else in. If you go and do the math, after a week of compounding in a place where you can compound, you're actually getting 10% per day or 15% per day. But if you, because you didn't put anything new into the protocol. But when you don't have the compound feature, you need to reinvest, you need to put fresh money into the project, and you're always getting 2% over the amount that you actually deposited, not over the amount that magically increases when you press the compound button.
absolutely.
I just got another quick share, because as you've all seen in the Google Sheets, let me just share my screen. How do I share it now? No camera, no, I don't want the camera. I want to share screen. Here we go. Right. So as you can see, Pancake Swap yesterday was 17,672 in Pancake Swap. Let's go to Pancake Swap. With the BNB increase and the cake increase, because BNB increase, cake always increases with the BNB. I've just done the calculations. 1 minute, now I've got that wrong. So let's just go over it. 13, 8, 9, 3, 5, add 5, 2, 4, 7. That's basically nearly 2k increase just by the BNB increase, and that's earning through Pancake. But obviously 22% a year and 21% a year, we've got to find bigger pools than that. But these will be pulled, will all be going into one pool, and it'll basically be a lot easier for everyone to see. We do have backup plans. So I've seen in the chat about Grizzly going down. Grizzly's not going down. Grizzly's not going down at all. The project is still staying the same. It's just the percentage is dropping. And if the percentage drops, we need to get in a percentage of a pool that is a lot higher. We have 2 new pools we jumped into last night that we are testing to see how they go. And there is another few pools that are opening up in 2 days' time. So as Grizzly distribution phase, which is only the distribution phase, ends in 2 days, 1 hour, and as you've just seen, the pools have just increased by an extra $1,000 just while I just showed onto here. So B&B's just jumped up a little bit more. So when that ends in 2 days, 1 hour, all it does is reduces this to about 40% a year. But we will go into another pool that's a little bit higher. We can still do it with 40% a year, but we would need more time. And we don't want to basically say to everyone, no, we need more time, we need more time. I don't want to be a project that is constantly asking you for more and more time. I want to be able to say, look, we're getting there. We're now, for all your investments and everything, at 200% or 300%, or we are at 400%. Now we're working towards the second lot of 200 days investors. Or doing a massive giveaway where we've got too much BNB coming back. We can give, like, say, 30 BNB away in one go. That's what we do, because it's not our money, so we won't be keeping it. It goes back to you as investors. It's your money. I've just done the compounding to work up to that money, but it's yours, not mine. So we'd give it back to everyone, or we'd just literally go through the contract, see how many people are invested, and distribute it evenly to every single investor, whether they've invested 0.1 BNB or 50 BNB. You'd all get an equal share of everything what's left, because it's just free money. And everyone's got back what they've already got, which is the 400% or 235% or 135%. But we're just going to give you back extra because you've gave us that time, you've worked with us as a community, so why shouldn't we give you it back? And as you can see, yeah, BNB must be pumping because it's only BNB that can actually increase the pulls. So as you can see, it was just 626 just a second ago. So yeah, we've got to be responsible with everything. We need to work together as a community. This can last forever, but I need the community's help. And that's the one thing I can honestly say, and it's just gone up to 282. I can honestly say this is one of the best communities I've ever seen in the whole of DeFi. And that is that God's honest truth. But we've got to keep it that way as well. So even I've noticed there's been a few with coming from Stable Fund. Please, I know exactly what you're going through at the moment. A lot of people that are in here know exactly what you're going through at the moment. They was burnt as well. And with what's going off, I haven't got a clue where it's going to go. I really can't tell you exactly where it's going to go, what it's going to do, how it's going to do. But what I can tell you is it is a safe place. And we will do everything in our power as a full team and a community to make sure you're in the right place. And we're not saying invest everything just in fortune hunters, diversify. Make sure you go into different places. You don't have to be just in fortune hunters. So yeah, I wouldn't agree with that, AJ. I'm not the most trusted person. There's one most trusted person in the DeFi, and I would give him my life, and that's George. George is the most trusted person in the whole of DeFi. So yeah. Let me just end the screen, actually. I've got to remember how to do it again. How do I do it again? There. Right. So is there any questions? Yeah, George is part of the team. Couldn't have wished for a better person to be part of the team. But he really is the one that is the most trusted person in DeFi. And he does everything he can to try and help everyone. It's just sometimes it is thrown back in his face, and I'd do anything. All updates regarding automated BUSD have been posted in automated BUSD and USDT in the group, and that's as far as it has been. George has had like a tremendous amount of nasty messages, and it's not right for him. He was only trying to help, and that's where it is at the moment. And we even offered to help, but not when he's getting messages like that. We're not going to help when a community doesn't help the person that is trying to help them. Yeah, they tracked his wallet to Binance, and they're going to see what they can do, but there's not really much they can do once it hits a hot wallet. Then it's down to Binance to try and find it. But that's automated BUSD. There is going to be refunds. We know that. That has been announced already. What happens after that, we do not know. George has a hell of a lot of work at the moment to do because he has to go through how many have requested the refunds. I shouldn't be really announcing it here because it is Fortune Hunters, but I will, because I want to take a little bit of pressure off of George. He has to go through everything. What people are withdrawn, how many referrals they've got, what they've invested, if the dev has paid them back their initial back, if they've requested it, and everything else. So he's got a lot to do. So please just bear with him a little bit. It does take a long time. But George is the one that will... Unfortunately, he offered to help, thinking that the money, the other like 300k or whatever, would have gone back to him. But then when the dev did a runner and put George in the limelight, making out that he's basically the owner of the group and the only admin, it was basically trying to frame him. And it wasn't nice, because he really did start getting some really nasty text messages. So, yeah, he never asked for it. He just wanted to make sure everyone got whatever they could back with what were left in the bots. But then he did a runner, which was very unfortunate. And we didn't expect it, because he was actually chatting in the group. And then all of a sudden he just did a runner. And normally when you're running a project, you don't talk. You don't even message back to anything. So anyway, back to Fortune Hunters. So, but yeah, you are in a completely different place altogether in DeFi. We're trying to change DeFi. We're trying to make it a safer place, a nicer place, somewhere where even if you're the last person getting in a project, you're going to win. You're going to be the one that's going to ROI, even though you're the last person. You can turn around to another project and say, well, I don't care, you've been going 6 months, you're not even going to let me ROI if I join now. I'm in a project that I've been in 3 weeks, and I'm guaranteed to ROI. And it's been running for 2 years, say, when Cake of Fortune's been going to be running for 2 years. Because Cake of Fortune will never end until the last person gets bored of investing. And that is the same for any project we bring out. Until somebody is bored of investing and it just drains down because the interest won't keep more than what keeps coming in, then that's the only way it'll drain and the only way it'll end. But if people keep wanting to invest because they're going to earn a passive income, then we'll keep going. Not in this AMA. There's not giveaways in every single AMA. We do it at certain points. We don't normally announce it beforehand. We have a giveaway, which is the Christmas giveaway of whenever you basically reinvest, should I say, or even a first deposit, then you're entered into a draw of 5 winners. Will each win 100 BUSD on the day before Christmas Eve, so it gives you enough time to withdraw it into your banks and go and buy yourself something nice or your family something nice. And then there's one for the whales. Whoever's the highest whale to put in the most BNB between now, well, midnight last night in my time, which is now like 7 p.m. my time now. Excuse me, I've got a really sore throat. Someone's had laryngitis the other day out coming to Cappy and didn't decide to tell us until today. And so I may lose my voice. So you may get a squeaky AMA at some point. But yeah, that's the way we do it. We do anything like that, but we don't do giveaways every single time, because then we're going to be using too much of the marketing money when we may need it for something else. Is there any other questions? Nobody should be in profit right this instant, because we are not at day 52 yet. There's only one wallet that shows it's in profit, but it's not in profit, is the address. You know, when we said There was a pool wallet where it gives, rather than influencers taking the 2%, anyone using the projects wallet, the 2% goes into the syrup pools. Basically, because that's ended up getting, in fact, let me share screen and get that up. And I'll show you exactly what it's at. And you'll see everything's been reinvested back in. There. Let's go. Share screen. So this is the projects wallet, and as you can see, I put in 0.1 to start the contract, and it's earned 6.125 BNB, 1215 BNB, 64 referrals used that wallet, and as you can see, it's all been put back in. That should be 6.5. Yeah, it should be 6.5. So I'll be depositing in a second. In fact, let me just check the wallet. I don't even use this for anything. As you can see, it's only done heart checks, which is this. So the 0.3% withdrawals. That's withdrawal tax. That's why. I was panicking myself then because I don't rip anybody off. I put exactly straight back in what was in wallet. So yeah, so there you go. I will put the extra 0.5 in anyway, so I'll send that from my personal wallet, just to keep it up, because I don't want it showing that I'm not putting back into the contract what's coming out, even though it's the tax. But I like to be honest and open with you all. Yeah, so that's exactly what's gone back into contracts, and it shows that it's at 1,000 and odd percent increase, which is what we're trying to do at the moment with the Google Sheets, to show everyone what all the percentage every person has got. So we're going to have that up and running soon enough. We're going to hopefully finish the GitHub white paper. Once we get further down the line and do a lot better, we can then start doing the further roadmap. But as we know, everything's on hold at the moment. There's going to be no further roadmap at this precise time. But yeah, that's where we are. Cake fortune. Let's have a cake fortune. Boom. So there's 3,276 cake in cake of fortune. Elk. When it loads. Come on. 66,057 in the elk contract, and it looks like elk's had a little bit of an increase in price as well, because that were only $6,000 yesterday, so that's good. Here we go. Right, and screen. Yeah, so I will put that extra 0.5, and you can check with the wallet checker as well, so I'll get that in straight away. The GHNY tokens have been compounded into the Grizzly already. Anything that is earned is automatically compounded back in. So that's all done. It's just we haven't added any more into Grizzly with what's being deposited at this moment. We are looking for another pool. There's no point depositing anything and losing 0.01% when the percentages are going to drop, and then we'd lose another 0.01% by withdrawing it in 2 days and 1 hour time. So we'd rather save that gas fee and wait until we have to pull it out and put it into another pool. But we want to make sure which pool we're going to be putting it into first, so we don't have to keep swapping it around. We're just gone over a few updates of what's gone off. It is being recorded. I will post it as soon as we're finished. But I am going to end the AMA Like I say, I've got a really bad sore throat. It's like somebody squeezed it together. And it wasn't until today someone's decided to say, well, so-and-so had laryngitis the other day, and it may be that. All right, nice one, thanks for bringing it into my workplace. But I've been doping myself up. I'm on like buttercup syrup and whole silver, strepsils, you name it. I'm taking it. I was higher as a kite at work today. 2 minutes ago, you were drinking a beer. Yeah, everyone's going to be rich towards the end, but like I say, we've got to keep working as a community. Yeah, I do understand that, Dwayne, but the problem is everything's locked regarding Animal Farm. And if I need to get that interest out and give it back to use, I can't because it's locked in that dog plan, or I'd have to take the 90% tax. So it's a really hard, sticky situation that I wouldn't put any of the community in. And there's a lot more people going into BT's project at the moment. He's just brought out some farms. I have put 5k in there to test it out because that's at 52% yearly, which is a little higher than Pancake Swap, but it's not high enough that we need. But that's with no impermanent loss, so there'll be no reduced in prices, and if the price of the trunk token increases, it actually doubles your amount of BNB you've actually put into the project as well. So if you only put 5 BNB in, it'll basically, if you double the price of the token, it'll give you 10 BNB back plus your double amount of tokens as well.
Yeah, Craig, can I just say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
For all the people that are making suggestions about other pools, etc., we appreciate your suggestions, but you need to keep in mind that we need to choose places that offers us flexibility for us to claim and take the funds out to feed back into the contract if that comes to the point that we need to make injections. If we go into projects that offer more APR or whatever, but we are locked in and the TVL from the Farm of Fortune starts going down, we need to be able to pick up those funds and inject into the contract, or you won't be able to claim anything. So we need to be very, very selective when we choose where we go. Even if it pays lower, sometimes less is more. And then we appreciate you all for all the suggestions that you are making, but you need to keep in mind that we need to be very, very careful to where we put your funds in, because we need to be able to access those funds at any moment.
Yeah, like Grizzly, I can pull the Grizzly out, the Grizzly token itself out, and compound it back into the contract. So even if the Grizzly token today is $34, yesterday was only $22, which is why I never compounded yesterday. It was too cheap. I knew BNB was going to have a pump back up. I knew there was some work in the back line. I've seen the tweets between Binance and Ethereum, so there may be a partnership coming in between Binance and Ethereum. Nothing's official yet. I've just seen some tweets going backwards and forwards with them. If that happens, you just know exactly what Binance is going to do. BNB price is going to pump even 10 times higher, which I'm watching for that at the moment, because then I will do a leverage of 5x again. But yeah, so today the token's $34. I compounded all of yesterday's tokens and today's tokens and put in the contract, which gave me today's price, and it gives it straight away in BNB price. So now, even if that token goes back to $10, I've still got that token as BNB price now rather than the GHMY price. So that's why I need to be able to do the compound interest, because it's building up each and every day of the amount of BNB we've got. And like I say, we've got the bots and everything else in different pools. Pancake Swap's doing good, but it's not doing good enough. But I need to get it back up to around $4.06 in Pancake before is the original price I put Cake in there. So, and then I'll pull it out. Yeah, he is emotionless one until I'm in the DGen chat and I've listened to him in VCs, and when he goes on one, he can go on one and it pulls his character back down. That's the only downside BT's got. If anyone questions him on anything, he goes like a little kid, and he does proper flips. But yeah, I'm keeping 5k there. If it does good and he does what he says he's going to be doing, then may increase a little bit. But you see, I don't know professional traders, and it's about trust. You see, there's no saying a professional trader might just vanish and you don't know where they've gone, and it's weird. I know where the money is. You know where the money is. You can track it through the wallets. Everything is screenshotted, sent out every day, put on the Google Sheets. But I give it to a trader and they say, well, wait a minute, I did a bit high leverage, never put no stop losses, and there's no money left. Then I've got to try and work to get whatever X amount of money that is back to give back to use. At this rate, I know if I made a mistake, I'd have to tell you straight away that I made a mistake. There's this amount I lost, but we made this amount in the last couple of days. I will build it back, and I'll keep working at building it back. But if I lose everything, that's just our dream as fortune hunters just gone up in smoke. So I've got to be very careful, and that's why we try and keep everything close indoors. Yeah, that was discussed earlier on. The updates will be, we are implementing a second timer. It'll basically be like a normal miners timer, which will say your cart will be full in so-and-so time, which will be the 7 days. So we are going to be doing that. It'll be in the next week or two, but we will do it. But until then, I've still got to keep doing everything what I'm doing at the moment. Yeah, I am going to end the AMA. We've been about an hour, so that's the normal time for the AMAs. I don't like to go too long because then I start sounding like Forex. So yeah, let's end this one. We have another one on Sunday as normal. I'm going to rest my voice a little bit so that I don't lose it, because that's one thing I don't want to lose. So anyway, thanks everyone for joining. If there's anything else you need, please don't feel free to tag me in chat. Be careful when DMing me. Make sure you do tag me in chat before DMing me, because I did block 2 more people and they was in group I didn't know until afterwards. So I don't know if they got Telegram jail, because I found quite a few people I just when I block and report, they instantly get Telegram jailed. I don't know if it's because I've gone premium or what. Yeah, we don't like to go over 3 hours and we don't like waiting 3 minutes. So anyway, right, I am going to get going, but other than that, we are good. So we're keeping everything good, clear, everything's transparent. We don't bring other projects down either. Animal Farm is good. The one thing I don't agree with is the locking. I don't agree with locking anything, and that's why people said, well, why didn't you do a compound feature where you can remove the funds? And I said, I don't like that. I don't like the fact that I can enter a contract to move funds out. I like the contract to tell me what I can and can't do. So then you know exactly where we are as well. And that's where the trust comes, because you know exactly how much I can take and how much I can give back. So there's no extras, and I've made a mistake here, I'm just taking an extra 10k. We don't do that. That's the one thing we don't do. So yeah, but Animal Farm, it is a good project. Like to see what's coming up in the future. I know I've gone over this time, which means Animal Farm's AMA has already launched. So I do apologise if I've kept anyone away from Animal Farm AMA, but I will let you get off anyway. It is 7:30 my time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I will continue to see if I can find some trades and keep updating the sheet. There has been an update, but I haven't coloured it all in yet with the red, the greens, because there is no reds today. So thanks for joining. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in the next AMA.